And they do have sharp teeth. Yep, definitely don't want to mess around with them.
If you've been watching our videos for any length of time now, you know that Holliff and I don't throw a lot of money around. Tonight, we're sort of breaking our rules a little bit because we're in Lima, Peru right now, and there's a really nice restaurant here called Central Restaurant. And Central happens to be one of the top 5 restaurants in the world. It's not cheap, but we figured that since we were here, we would treat ourselves. Get in, jump in.
Hello.
You made it.
Now we are on our way to Central Restaurant, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about the reservation. We actually made this reservation about 2 months ago. The waiting list is about 2 months. It's a very competitive reservation.
Central is a restaurant that is run by a chef named Virgilio Martinez. He was on season 3, episode 6 of a Netflix show called Chef's Table, and he highlights Peruvian cuisine from different altitudes. So we're going there tonight for a 12-course meal with ingredients that are specifically selected from around Peru. So we're looking forward to eating things, and we're hoping that we do it right because we've never been in a fancy restaurant like this before.
Yes. We just arrived safely. Just in case you wonder, this is 9:30 reservation, so it's like a bit later than usual, but we're excited and we are ready. Just right there.
Hello, good, how are you?
Reservations in his name, I think.
Yep.
Holliff
got one.
Yeah.
Start at 9:30.
9:30, got it. Yep.
Or 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock. We don't
No.
know. It's delicious here already.
Yep.
Okay, we are in the Mayo bar, and it's the bar that operates with Central. We have about 40 minutes left before our restaurant reservation. The cool thing about Central is the menu. It's all about the ecosystems of Peru and getting ingredients from all over the country. All 12 courses. The menu is printed on this round card. Some people are here for a 17-course meal. This says 12, so I'm assuming this table is for us.
We've been just giggling because it's just so unusual, but our table is basically like a marble table, and we get some kind of broken plate of each of us, and we got napkin, and we get the menu and drink menu, which is really heavy.
Our waiter came over and she told us that we're going to start our Central experience here at our table at the bar. 2 or 3 courses here, then we're going to move into the restaurant.
So we were just presented our first course. It consists of razor clams and some kind of barnacles grows with the razor clams. It's chewy, it's full of liquid, and then it feels very lemony inside.
Oh wow. I think what you do here is you take this. Now I know why I get the napkin. It's a very sea water taste to it. It's not salty. It reminds me of seaweed without salt.
Michael's loving it.
I'm not sure if I'm loving it. I like it a lot. I'm just trying to get every dollar's worth out of this.
By the way, we actually read some reviews beforehand. One of them actually said that trying to eat these barnacles and then the presentation bowl, which I don't blame them. It seems like, you know, it's edible.
It looks really tasty.
And this is some kind of black. Just right before the second course, pairing wine that came out is called the Chenin Blanc.
It's very dry wine, but I actually like it because I'm in a fancy restaurant and I have to. So out of place.
We are waiting for the second course. I'm just going to read it from our fancy menu here. It's from Desertic coast. It will contain a cactus, clam, UFO seaweed from 110 meters high. Cactus are very acidic and cold. Use your fingers. It's supposed to be followed with some crystal sweets, crunchy seaweed with some kind of flowers in it. Wow, this is delicious.
The third part of course number 2 is a small dish of clams. Wow, but that pink foamy stuff in the bottom is delicious. The one before was really interesting and good. This, I like everything about it.
It is 10 o'clock now, and we were just down with 2 courses, so we still have 10 to go. And we were just informed that our table is ready, and we're about to move upstairs to the proper dining table for Central.
And in your cups, we have a cream made from the Mashwa root as well, with a cured duck and preserved duck egg yolk. So we recommend to take it in any order with hands and a spoon.
Okay, thank you.
No hands.
It might be...
You could, but... I have no idea, but it was really good. It's got a sweetness to it. It's a crunchy, rolled up yellow thing. So this is a fermented but non-alcoholic sugarcane drink.
Paiche is a river fish, and we use the oils from the skin of paiche.
And then he swished it around. It's a little bit sweet, obviously. The ink adds a little bit of salt to it. It's an odd flavor, but not a bad one.
The fourth course is the upper jungle. Very simple bites of 2 different kind of bread and 2 dipping sauce. Copoazú sauce and the Sachatomate sauce. And the difference between the two is one has cheese in it and the other one does not. And it's supposed to be just a finger food. So the bread is basically a fried bread. So the outside is crunchy and then the inside is spongy. And you're supposed to dip this in this kind of sauce, like a cheesy quality to it, so it's kind of creamy. And then they put the layer of ash on top of it, so you could taste the bird. The second bread, it's similar to the first one, except it is kind of denser inside, and it's much crunchier on the outside. And the dipping sauce, called the Sachatomate, is a very buttery quality to it. They use the blowtorch to get the first layer on top of it, so it's like slightly sweet and burnt. I like the second one much better, definitely. And course number 5 is called the sea terrain, and it's squid and chips dish. It has Huarango and Sargassum, which is seaweed that collected from the coastal Peru. The top one is cucumber chips. The squid rests at the bottom of the plate, and it's just like a tiny chunks of the gelatinous, chewy squid. It's very seafoody.
So what we have here is something that they call Waters of the Desert. It is from 88 meters. It is avocado, something called Loche, which I don't know what it is, but we'll figure it out eventually, and sea urchin, and they added a shellfish broth to it. So let's give it a try. For some reason, that's exactly like I thought it was going to taste. I have had sea urchin before, and it tastes like avocado mixed with sea urchin, but it's got a very strong smoky flavor to it, which is probably the broth, actually. They could have served just the broth, and I would have really enjoyed that.
Sea urchin broth?
No, it's the shellfish broth. Yeah, it probably doesn't look any good anymore because I've just demolished it.
I'm gonna just taste the broth itself. It is almost salty, but it's not. It's just kind of weird. Like, you almost like salty, but no, it just stopped right there. And you can definitely taste the hint of seafood. It's completely kind of washed off. And then now I'm gonna try the avocado, which is the layering bottom part of it. Oh wow, it's very creamy avocado paste. And everything is kind of warmish with a chunk of sea urchin kind of laying on top of this whole avocado paste. The whole thing, if you eat it at once, it's really, really good.
I think one of the most interesting parts about this dinner is that this is the first time I've ever been at a restaurant where I've actually really thought about what I was eating. It's amazing. I love it. Love it.
But in this case, this wine is 100% Bonarda.
Did he say banana? It's a banana wine?
Bonarda.
Oh, okay. Clearly I've had too much wine already. Okay, this is course number 7. Extreme altitude. It's 4,370 meters. He brought out this dish of corn to show some of the corn varieties that are actually in this dish. So we've got corn, quinoa, and some sweet potato. And let's give it a try. Oh my goodness, when you taste that sweet potato, it's gonna knock you on your butt. There's a taste in corn at the back of your mouth that's fully present in this dish. So you're gonna get the sweet potato and you're gonna get that really back of the throat corn taste. It's really, really interesting. Here's 2 things that I know. One, that corn, quinoa, and sweet potato dish was the tastiest dish that I've had tonight. It might not have been the most interesting, although it was kind of interesting. But also, this is the first time I've ever been to a restaurant where I've had wines paired by professionals. I've been to places where people gave me wine that they said was the right wine to drink, but this is the very first time that I've probably had a very highly paid sommelier give me wine that goes with a dish, and it really does work.
And this pairing is a sugarcane juice. This also has some spices that comes from the jungle.
Or make this tartar an emulsion. Then after, piranha's meat with cassava. You find them. So how do you eat? Spoon, take this one first, and after with your hand, take that crunching texture of the meat.
This one sounds a little bit weird. This is an emulsion of the skin and fins of the piranha in a tartare. You eat this first. I feel really bad about eating this because I used to swim with piranhas. They're so friendly, and now I'm eating one. It's very creamy. It's not as fishy as you might think, but it's got like breadcrumbs on the top of it, and it's really, really neat. For the second part, I think you said this was piranha and yucca, but it feels very hard, so it's probably very crunchy. Oh yeah.
It definitely smell very fishy, but doesn't taste as fishy as you thought it would be. It's almost like a fish cake in the middle.
It is a fish cake. It's piranha.
Yeah.
Okay, we thought this was just decoration, but that's actual real frozen piranha heads.
And they do have sharp teeth. Yep, definitely don't want to mess around with them. Although they are friendly, they're not gonna attack you in the river.
And at the bottom you will find the scallops that are covered with layers of macre. And macre is a type of pumpkin.
So we are at course number 9 now. It's called Marine Valley, minus 20 meters. Scallops, shredded pumpkin, and a few other things on top. And sea lice?
Sea lettuce.
Sea lettuce. I was hoping it wasn't sea lice because those are the gross things that follow you when you're diving. So I'm going to give this a try. Oh, it's so good. I'm blown away every time I touch this food. It's got this smoky flavor. I just want to keep eating it. And I actually wish they'd bring me more of this one because this one is one of my favorites. Also, they've paired it with a Sauvignon Blanc, which we'll see how that goes. Again, this is like the perfect wine for what I just ate.
We've been here basically since 9 and it's already 11:40 now. This is course number 10, the Andean Woods. Lamb with Peruvian tubers, served with lamb and sheep milk broth. And it's from 2,980 meters.
Let's see what this tastes like. It's a very, very gamey lamb, which I don't mind at all. It's also quite fatty, which I think is perfect, and it's cooked really well. Tubers are delicious. Absolutely sensational. Really good.
Course number 11 is sort of like a dessert. It's called the Green Mountain Range. Highlighted the cocoa plant that you make chocolate out of. In this bowl, you can get the main ingredients made of cocoa, and then we get 3 different garnishes.
I'm assuming that we take the ice cream, we'll take a little bit of this, which is very citrusy, and then a little bit of the chocolate ganache. Oh.
Not so pretty.
No, it's not so pretty. We're gonna mix this in with each other and see what it all tastes like together. This is like 11 courses, and I've said it 11 times already. It's amazing.
My favorite part is muña, green garnish that they put on the bowl. We had really fond memories from Lake Titicaca when we had the muña tea.
Okay, we're 3 hours in now. This is our very last course, and this is a course called Medicinal Plants. And this is the one I remember most from the Chef's Table special. Inside this little drink, there are little algae balls that he fished out of a bog. And I'm gonna taste them right now because they actually look really good. It sort of tastes like cold green tea. And these little things here, so there's 2, one for Halaf, one for me. Oh, and this one's really sweet. It's almost like a sweet tortilla chip with green algae stuff in it. It's a desserty kind of dish. It's really delicious.
You know, it's already 15 past midnight, so it is very late, and I think they really want us to leave, but...
No, they don't. They don't care.
Thank you.
Well, for both of us, I think that was the most bizarre, not bizarre, but interesting experience of our lives. I don't think any of us have ever had anything like that. There's our Uber, and we got to get in our Uber right now to get back home, but totally worth it. Well, you may have noticed that this is no longer Central, and that it is daylight out and not past midnight like we were when we were finished eating. That is because we couldn't really do a conclusion at the end of that video. Why, Hala?
I had a allergic reaction to some of the shellfish.
Yep.
As a little kid, I grew up with severe allergic reaction to shellfish, and the last attack that I had was, you know, good lord, like 20 plus something years ago. So I thought I grew out of the allergy.
There was quite a bit of seafood in this, so that's a little bit more than you probably had over the past several years.
But the disclaimer is nothing wrong with Central
wrong with
preparing it. It was just me being reacted to the shellfish.
Yeah, nothing
so
more.
So what is your take on Central?
It was just amazing. What amazed me most about it was how they treated us. It was absolutely professional. I think it was pretty clear that we weren't the fancy fancy customers that they probably are used to. They noticed that and they took good care of us. They made sure that our experience was at least as good as someone who's used to this type of dining.
It's definitely a very classy restaurant, but they
yeah.
lay back enough to accept people like us who filming a lot and talking to on the camera, taking photos.
Especially since we were probably there for about 45 minutes longer than anyone else.
I had such a great time, and that's a eating experience I've never had before in my life.
We will never forget the bill. It was about a couple $100 more than we thought it was going to be, but it was worth it.
And I really enjoyed the food with the perfect pairing. So we actually ordered alcohol and non-alcoholic pairing with our meals.
And it perfectly.
It's just a perfect experience altogether.
Anyway, we really enjoyed making this video, and we hope you did too. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. We'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel, because we're posting at least a couple of videos a week. And if you hit that notification bell, that means you'll get a notification in your notifications whenever we do post a new video. Thanks for watching. Holliff and I don't throw a lot of money around. It's all buttoned up. Okay, he went around.
Can we touch it? I'm messing up the whole setting, but there we go.
Oh, it's so brutal.
I just bit my lip, which is nice.